All right. Hey guys. So I'm Alex Winnicky. I'm 27. Originally from Winston-Salem. UNCG alumni. Graduated 2 years ago with a degree in business. And I currently go to App. I'm a junior as a nutrition and dietetics major. Yeah. So first off, the about me, the self assessment, the big five, the assignment we all had to do. I didn't really feel like there was anything out of the ordinary here, though I didn't really like the big five test itself. Uh, I agree with everything: the extroversion, the conscientiousness, open mindedness, agreeableness, and the negative emotion. The only problem I have is I don't really see my anxiety as always negative. I thought that arrow might be like a little bit more towards the middle. I'm just very ADD and have a lot of energy. So I guess that came out in the questions and is construed as negative emotion, though I don't always really view it that way. So that was my one problem with the self assessment. But yeah, nothing really out of the ordinary there. So life experiences. Out of high school, I went to Forsyth Tech, a community college where learned about welding, and then at the age of 19, worked for John Deere as a welder. Did that for about 6 years. Went from a welder to a robot program to a robot operator to a robot programmer. So I was programming robots to weld out excavators and construction machinery, which is a pretty cool thing to do. But I found that job not really fulfilling. Um, I decided while I was at that job and I wasn't happy with it, I would use it to my advantage, and I'd use that nice cushy paycheck to go to business school. So I did that. I worked full time and sometimes 50 to almost 60 hours of overtime, and still went to school part time. And then I eventually quit my job 2 years ago, I guess, right at the start of 2016. Um, to pursue professional cycling, and I essentially achieved that goal. I got paid for 2 years to race around in circles around the country, and that was pretty cool. I got a nice paycheck that at least just well, it wasn't nice, but it allowed me to eat, and I got free housing and free transportation and free race entry fees and free bikes. So everything I needed was paid for. So yeah, I pretty much achieved that goal, and those life experiences really taught me just the attention to detail and work ethic it takes to work 60 hours and go to school or to be a professional athlete. Holy hell, that's a lot of work. So that's what that really taught me how to do, is just how to really dial in my focus. And as ADD as I can be, I can turn that switch on and I can be 100% committed and sacrifice everything else, including that nice cushy job, to pursue whatever I want. So that's the big takeaways and life lessons I got there, is just really how to take calculated risk and to go all in and just not be afraid to fail. And worst case scenario, I learned something. So yeah, that's the biggest takeaway I have from the life experiences. um so my development and goals, I want to graduate from app and become an RDN, studying nutrition and dietetics. So that's the pathway I want to approach. I want to be, with my sports and athletics background, I want to be a sports dietitian, work with the military or professional athletes. I think it'd be really cool to work with just top performers, though I also value working with kids and working in the community with nutrition because it's something that affects everybody. Um, and I'd like to move out of North Carolina because I've never lived outside of the state, though I've traveled quite a bit. And I'd like to travel more. And that could be with my new degree or just at a leisure. Um, so yeah, that's I think my weakness is there because I can be very ADD and I can be also very focused. And I think one of the my strength is my weakness, I guess. I I can be very scattered or I can be very dialed. And when I'm very dialed, I can sacrifice and be very insular, and just not pay attention to anything else. And then when I'm scattered, I don't really go too deep on anything. So I think that's one of the goals I have in the future, to correcting strengths and weaknesses is just kind of finding that balance between being very focused and dialed in, but also knowing how to kind of ease off the gas a little bit. Um, I think there's a couple assignments, and I can't really name them off the top of my head, but we've had a lot of self reflection assignments in this class. And I think those have been very helpful in just kind of taking a break from school assignments and just looking back at yourself like, all right, what have I done? And this is a perfect example, is a self-assessment. What other class do you take where this is an assignment? You get to kind of step back and look on a grand scale like, all right, who am I? What have I done? Where am I going? What do I want to do? And instead of just being buried in the day-to-day, just onslaught of homework and assignments and exams and work and stress, like instead of doing that, you get to kind of take a step back and really prioritize your goals. So that's the biggest thing I've got out of this class, and out of those assignments in particular, the self-reflection assignments. And I think that's really helping me to kind of just take a break and focus back on those long-term goals that I have for myself. Even though food service management doesn't necessarily have anything to do with, well, yeah, it doesn't have too much to do with sports dietitian, but the application, it could go that way. So yeah, in conclusion, I want to use those life experiences that I've had. I've had a different career track, a different educational career. I want to use those experiences to the best of my ability and kind of use that that knowledge that I've gained to really get something extra out of this degree here. I'm 27. Some of my classmates are 17. So I look at this degree and the knowledge that my teachers are imparting on me, and I look at all those things a lot differently than a 17-year-old would, or that I would when I was 17. So I'm really hoping that that's going to be my biggest takeaway here for this particular degree long term. And I just want to combine those life experiences, the successes, the failures in that my business degree, and just use that to fuel whatever comes next in life. So, yeah, that's me in a nutshell, guys. So, yeah, thanks.